Civilization Center. Hi, and welcome to Civilization Center. I'm Stupid.
And I am Titanic, filling in for Walter Mellon.
Today we will be studying the building of the Mongol Empire and how the Mongols invaded China.
We will also be studying China under the Mongol rule.
In 1206, the Mongol tribes gathered and swore allegiance to Temujin, which means ironworker. He was a nomad chieftain. That united the Mongols, and Temujin was renamed Genghis Khan, which means the ruler of the universe. He was one of the fiercest leaders ever. In 1209, Genghis Khan and his army set out north with intention on a course of conquest. In 1234, Mongols took over the Qin dynasty and went south to attack the Sung. They battled for 45 years until the Mongols finally conquered the Sung in 1279. The Mongols killed the emperor, which left the Sung with only a 4-year-old descendant of the emperor. A Sung minister took the infant and jumped into the sea, where they drowned, and that ended the Sung. I know what a lot of you guys are wondering, and that is, how the heck did Genghis Khan conquer China? Well, first of all, the Mongol invasion of China lasted for over 6 years. 6 years! That's a long time, but not compared to the 45-year battle. Anyway, they first attacked the northwest part of China, which was called China. Then they attacked the northeast part of China. In 1215, he took Beijing, which was the capital of the Jin Empire. That ended the war.
Before Genghis Khan died in 1227, he arranged for the land that the Mongols conquered to be divided into 4 parts called Khanates. Khanates were ruled by Genghis Khan's sons and their descendants. The grandson of Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, completed the conquest of China. In 1271, he established the Yuan dynasty, became emperor of China. Kublai Khan only appointed Mongols to chief government posts. Some foreigners were given secondary jobs, and the Chinese usually held the lowest positions. To restore the country after years of warfare, Kublai Khan began a series of international improvements. He repaired roads and built a new stone-paved highway that was 1,100 miles long between Hangzhou and Peking. Eventually, roads linked to China, Persia, and Russia. Kublai Khan, or the Great Khan as you could call him, ordered the building of hospitals. He also ordered local officials to assist the aged scholars, the poor, and the sick. Under Mongol rule, contact between China and Europe increased. Both King Louis IX of France and the Pope in Rome sent ambassadors to China. The Mongols, in return, sent envoys to Europe. One of the many European travelers to China was young Italian merchant Marco Polo. In 1271, with his father and uncle, he journeyed by ship, then camel, from Venice to China. Polo learned the Mongol language and served for several years under Kublai Khan. Returning to Europe in 1295, Polo wrote a book about his expeditions called The Description of the World. Among other subjects, he wrote about the use for coal for heat, paper money, public carriages, and street drains. All new ideas to the Europeans at the time. The Yuan dynasty followed a pattern similar to the Chinese dynasties, a golden age and then a decline. After Kublai's death in 1294, the Yuan dynasty began a long decline under a series of weak emperors. As problems worsened, Mongol leaders quarreled. Public projects were abandoned. In 1356, a Buddhist monk named Chu Wancheng organized a band of peasants and captured Nanking. 12 years of bitter warfare followed. Chu Wancheng finally succeeded in driving the Yuan armies beyond Peking. In 1368, the Yuan dynasty collapsed and the Chu Yuan dynasty established the Ming dynasty.
On to the Ming Dynasty. Tu Wan Chang restored the Chinese. He took the name of Tate as emperor. Peasants were exempt from taxation and government labor as long as they were willing to farm. By this time, the population was growing, and the economy was already improving. The emperors strengthened the Great Wall, which helped restore the nation's defense. They then repaired and deepened the Grand Canal, which allowed large ships to transport goods safely. 5 years after Tai Tsu's death in 1398, Young Lo became emperor. He attempted to reconquer China. He appointed Peking as his capital. There, he constructed a private residence, which came to be known as the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City consisted of large, majestic palaces, marble terraces, statues, lakes, and gardens. Young Lo wanted to restore the Chinese culture. He made Neo-Confucianism the official religion. He also gathered 2,000 scholars to put together an encyclopedia of Chinese knowledge of history, science, art, and geography. He restored Chinese art and literature. Poetry remained popular, but also people began to like fiction. Ming artists carried on the Song tradition, but used new techniques from the Ming.
One of the greatest accomplishments of the Ming was their sea voyages. In 1405, Young Lo appointed Chang Ho to lead exploration of lands beyond Asia. Chang Ho assembled a magnificent fleet of 63 vessels and 28,000 sailors. Between 1405 and 1433, he led 7 expeditions to places as far away as Indonesia, India, Arabia, and Africa. Chang Ho returned after each voyage with tribute from foreign kings and new knowledge of sea routes. The Ming voyages stimulated an interest in trade with China. However, after Young Lo's death, the voyages abruptly stopped. No one knows exactly why Ming ships stopped sailing the seas. Whatever the reasons, the new Ming rulers forbade Chinese ships to sail outside coastal waters. In addition, the government strictly regulated Chinese contact with foreigners. Chinese commerce declined.